You've been scammed, and you didn't even know it. Every year, honest drivers like you lose big money at auto shops, not because they don't care, but because they don't know what to watch for. Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel, Road Kings and Rust, where horsepower meets knowledge. From fake part replacements to made-up engine problems, we're breaking down the 13 tricks mechanics pull to drain your wallet. Make sure to stick around to the end, because we'll reveal one golden rule that'll help you avoid getting scammed ever again. Let's get into it. First up, unnecessary air filter replacements. Have you ever gone in for a quick oil change and had the mechanics come out holding a dirty air filter covered in bugs and dust and say, "Is this yours?" Sounds convincing until you ask yourself, is it really your air filter? Or just a dirty prop they keep around to scare people into paying for a new one? But here's the truth. Most air filters last between 15,000 to 30,000 miles. Unless you're driving through sandstorms daily, there's a good chance yours doesn't need replacing just yet. But still, 1 in 4 drivers get tricked into swapping it early. According to the Car Care Council, don't be that one. Here's how to shut it down. Open the hood yourself. The air filter is easy to find. If it's a little dusty, no big deal. But if it's really dirty, buy a new one online and install it yourself. It takes less than a minute. Here's a smart tip. Before the mechanic touches your car, take a quick photo of your filter. If they come back showing you something totally different, congrats, you got the scam in action. Now that we've seen how easy it is to be misled about something as simple as an air filter, let's dive into another common trick, the brake pad panic trick. Ever had a mechanic tell you your brake pads are almost gone, like 10% left? Sounds serious, right? That's how they get you. Brakes feel urgent, so they use that to scare you into spending money fast. The truth is, brake pads can last safely until they wear down to about 3 millimeters. Yet many shops push for replacements when there's still 5 millimeters left. To protect yourself, ask to see the measurement. A trustworthy mechanic will show it to you. If they refuse, that's a red flag. Some cars also have built-in sensors that alert you when the pads are low. Always get a second opinion if they say it's urgent. Spending $50 elsewhere could save you hundreds. Once you've learned how to spot the brake pad scam, the next trick mechanics use involves a much bigger scare, the urgent fluid flush. You've probably heard this one before. Your coolant looks bad. It needs a flush right now. The truth? Most fluids last between 50 and 100,000 miles. So why do some shops push for a flush after just 30,000 miles? It's an easy way to make extra cash. Many drivers fall for this scam, with mechanics showing dirty coolant, but it could be from another vehicle. Here's a pro tip. Always ask for proof, like a test strip or lab report to confirm if the fluid really needs replacing. Flushing can cost $100 to $300, so stick to your car's manual to save money. Stay informed and avoid unnecessary expenses. After understanding the fluid flush scam, it's time to address one of the most stressful issues a driver can face, the check engine light mystery. That little orange engine light is enough to send any average driver into a panic. Mechanics will often tell you it's a serious issue, maybe even a costly one. But here's the truth. The EPA says 10% of the time it's something simple, like a loose gas cap. The problem is most of us don't know how to check what the code means. Mechanics love to use the term like oxygen sensor or catalytic converter to make their work sound complicated, but you don't need to be a car expert. Here's a quick fix. Grab a $20 OBD2 scanner. Plug it into your car, and it'll show you a code. Google the code and you'll know if it's a big deal or something simple to fix yourself. For example, if you get code P0455, it means your gas cap is loose. Just tighten or replace it for about 15 bucks. If it's code P0171, you likely have a dirty air filter or a small vacuum leak. And for code P0420, it's probably a bad oxygen sensor, not a big catalytic converter issue. This simple tool will save you time, money, and unnecessary stress. Now that we've solved the engine light mystery, here's another scam that preys on your trust, upselling synthetic oil. You pull into the shop and suddenly, the mechanic tells you your vehicle needs synthetic oil. Sounds legit, right? Well, here's the catch. They often don't tell you that 75% of cars run just fine on regular oil, according to Consumer Reports. Synthetic oil is great for high-performance engines or extreme temperatures, but unless your manual specifically requires it, you're wasting money. It costs twice as much as conventional oil and won't make your car run better or last longer. Mechanics will push synthetic oil for profit, not performance. Check your manual or oil cap for oil recommendations. If it says 5W30 conventional, stick with that. Save your money for repairs that genuinely matter. With synthetic oil no longer being a mystery, let's break down the myth that's been circulating for years: the factory-only myth. Here's another common scam. You're told that only factory parts will keep your warranty intact. But that's not true. OEM parts are made by the same company that built your car, so they're identical to what came with your vehicle. The catch? Dealers charge a premium, often 2 or 3 times more just for the brand name. For example, an $80 aftermarket alternator might cost $200 as an OEM part. A National Automotive Parts Association study found that 89% of aftermarket parts perform just as well and are 30 to 50% cheaper. Unless your warranty specifically requires OEM parts, you're likely overpaying. Here's a pro tip. Ask for an aftermarket option and check your warranty. It likely covers equivalent parts. Now that you know the truth about factory parts, it's time to uncover the darkest scam of all: fake repairs that never happen. Now this one is just sneaky. You take your car in, and they tell you it needs a fuel pump, a flush, or maybe even a timing belt. They hand you a hefty bill. You pay for it, but guess what? They never did the work. The scam is more common than you'd think. The Federal Trade Commission says people lose billions every year to fake car repairs. One guy paid $600 for a timing belt replacement, but later found that the old cracked one was still there. How to protect yourself. Ask to see the old part they removed. Request photos of before and after the fix. Check your invoice and look for vague terms like system adjustment. If it doesn't say exactly what was fixed, that's a red flag. Don't be afraid to speak up. If something feels off, say so. If needed, dispute the charge through your credit card company, and always double check. A trustworthy shop won't mind answering questions. But before that, if you find these scam tips helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more insider tips on avoiding scams. Drop a comment down below and tell us if any of these mechanic tricks shocked you. After uncovering the fraud of fake repairs, let's talk about how you might be getting overcharged for some of the simplest tasks. Easy jobs made expensive. This scam is all about convenience and not yours. Most drivers don't realize how simple some car fixes are, so mechanics take advantage. Take the cabin air filter. For example, it costs about $10 to $20 online and takes less than 5 minutes to change. You just pop open the glove box, pop it out, and slide the new one in. Super easy. But some repair shops will charge you $150 or more, pretending it's a big job. They'll add labor charges and mark up the price of the part, all for something you could do in your driveway with zero tools. The same trick happens with wiper blades as well. A quick 2-minute switch turns into an $80 charge. How to avoid it? Look up your car model cabin air filter replacement or how to change wiper blades on YouTube. There are simple guides for nearly every vehicle. Take care of it yourself and keep your money for the repairs that actually matter. After realizing how easy it is to fall for inflated labor charges, let's expose the truth behind one of the biggest dealership scare tactics: the warranty-voiding lie. Some dealerships will try to scare you. They'll say if you change your oil somewhere else or use parts that aren't from the manufacturer, your warranty is void. That's not true. The law actually protects you. The Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act says your car's warranty stays valid even if you go to a local repair shop or use aftermarket parts. As long as the work is done correctly and the parts meet the right standards, the warranty can't be canceled. So if your local mechanic changes your oil or brakes using quality parts, you're still covered. The dealers push this lie because they want you to keep returning to them and paying their high prices. They hope you don't know the law. To protect yourself, always keep receipts and records of any work done. If a dealer refuses a warranty claim for no good reason, he can file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission. They've already taken action against this trick before and will do it again. Don't let scare tactics cost you money you don't need to spend. With a warranty myth debunked, let's dive into one of the most outrageous tricks in the book: fake product scams. Some car scams sound like a joke. they're very real. Ever heard of blinker fluid or muffler bearings? While these parts don't exist, some shops use similar tricks to charge you for fake or overpriced products. For example, they might sell you premium windshield washer fluid for $50 when it's just regular fluid. Or they might push fuel injector cleaner, even though modern fuel already contains additives. Headlight restoration is another common scam. Mechanics may charge you over $100 for a fix you can do yourself for just $10. Always question overpriced products and services. But wait, let's be real. When it comes to mechanics, you shouldn't have to worry about being scammed. It's all about knowing what to look for, so you're not stuck paying for unnecessary repairs. What do you think? Have you ever fallen for any of these mechanical tricks? Share your stories and experiences in the comments down below. Which scam has left you with the biggest bill? And what have you learned to watch out for? If this video helped you avoid getting scammed next time, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, so you're always in the loop on the tricks that can cost you big. Stick around, more is on the way, and you definitely don't want to miss it. Once you recognize fake product scams, you should also be aware of something even more common: inflated labor hours. Have you ever been billed for 3 hours of labor when the job only took 30 minutes? This is the inflated labor hour scam. Shops often charge based on book time, a standard estimate for how long a job should take. But experienced mechanics can finish much faster, and you still pay for the full time. For example, a 2-hour alternator job might only take an hour. To avoid this, check labor rates on sites like RepairPal and ask for a breakdown of costs. Always get a written estimate and dispute charges if the bill exceeds 10% more than quoted. And if you think labor hours can't get any worse, just wait until you hear about this classic, the free inspection trap. Everyone loves the word free, which is why the free inspection scam works so well. Shops offer free checks and then hit you with unnecessary repairs. They may exaggerate issues like a worn-out suspension or cracked serpentine belt. In fact, minor cracks in the belt are often normal and don't affect performance. To avoid this scam, don't approve repairs on the spot. Instead, get a second opinion from a trusted mechanic. Don't let them pressure you with limited time offers. Take your time and do some research before agreeing to any work, especially if it's linked to a free inspection. Now that we've seen how free inspections can cost you, let's finish off with a common scam that's often disguised as a quick fix: the shock strut upsell. Here's a common one. The mechanic claims your shocks or struts are worn out and need replacing, but how do they know? It's often just because your vehicle has hit a certain mileage. In reality, shocks and struts wear out due to driving conditions like potholes, rough roads, or heavy loads. Most last between 50 to 100,000 miles, sometimes even longer. To check, press down on each quarter of your car. If it bounces more than twice, you might need new ones. Otherwise, don't fall for the upsell, especially if your car rides smoothly. Always get a second opinion. Let's lock in one golden rule that'll keep you from falling for any of these scams again. To avoid being scammed, always get a second opinion. If a mechanic suggests a repair, ask for proof, like photos of the problem or the old parts. You can then check reviews on sites like BBB or Yelp. Shady shops hate accountability, and reviews will expose their tactics. Don't be afraid to question the work being done or the prices quoted. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Trust your instincts, ask for documentation, and never feel pressured into making immediate decisions. Stay vigilant, and you'll save money while keeping your car in good shape. So there you have it, 13 tricky mechanic scams that could be draining your wallet. From fake repairs to inflated labor hours, these tricks are more common than you think. Have you ever fallen for any of these scams? Drop your stories in the comments down below. And if this video helped you save some cash or taught you something new, make sure to subscribe for more tips on how to avoid getting ripped off at the repair shop. Catch you in the next one.